Today, the United States of America is the undisputed superpower of the world.
But rewind to the mid-1700s, and it was nothing more than a string of struggling trading outposts on the edge of an untamed continent. We all know the legendary story. 13 underdog colonies took on the greatest military empire on Earth, fought for liberty, and won.
But the true story of American independence is far more complex and much darker than the fairy tales we are taught. It wasn't just a battle of ideals, it was an economic war fueled by merchants, smugglers, and land-hungry settlers. And while documents that all men are created equal, how America broke its chains, who did the hardest work, and the dark price of liberty. To understand how America gained its independence, we have to start with a completely different war. Between 1756 and 56 and 1763, a massive global conflict where Great Britain battled France and Spain for global dominance. Britain emerged victorious, taking control of eastern North America, from Canada down to Florida. But this victory came at a massive cost. The British government was drowning in war debt. To save money and avoid costly new wars with Native Americans, Britain issued the Proclamation Line of 1763, making it illegal for colonists to settle west of the Appalachian Mountains. This line sealed off the frontier. The colonists, who had fought and died for the British in the recent war, felt completely betrayed. They wanted that land. But the real spark that ignited the revolution was money. Driven by an economic theory called mercantilism, the British Empire existed to extract. Under strict navigation acts, American colonists were forced to sell their valuable goods like tobacco and furs only to England and at prices that the British dictated. Then came the taxes. In 1765, Parliament passed the Stamp Act, placing a direct tax on legal documents and printed materials. For the first time, colonists were being taxed not to pay off debts, but simply to generate ongoing revenue for the British Crown. Because the colonists had no representatives in the British Parliament to vote on these laws, the revolution wasn't just fought with guns. It was fought with ideas. Across the Atlantic, a philosophical movement called the Enlightenment was reshaping how people viewed power. English philosopher John Locke argued that all people are born with fundamental natural rights, the right to life, liberty, and property. He introduced the social contract, the idea that a government only exists by the consent of the people. And if a government acts like a tyrant, the people have the right to overthrow it. These revolutionary ideas circulated in coffee houses and taverns across the colony. As British troops marched into Massachusetts to crush the growing unrest, colonial leaders realized there was no turning back. In 1774 and 1775, elected representatives met in Philadelphia for the First and Second Continental Congresses. In 1776, they took the ultimate step. They adopted the Declaration of Independence, a document deeply rooted in Enlightenment principles and Locke's social contract theory, officially severing their ties with the British king. The 13 colonies were now the United States of America. But declaring independence on paper was one thing. Winning it on the battlefield was another. So, who actually did the hardest work to win this freedom? If we look at the military effort, the ultimate hero was General George Washington. He led the Continental Army through brutal winters, starvation, and disease. Initially, the highly trained British Army won most of the battles.
Present! Handle swivels!
But Washington used brilliant evasion tactics, keeping his ragtag army alive long enough to exhaust the British forces. But the war wasn't just won by generals. The real backbone of the revolution was the ordinary people. Merchants and artisans risked their livelihoods by smuggling goods and boycotting British products. And we cannot forget the women. Women played a massive, often overlooked role in the revolution. They led charitable organizations to fund the army, ran the farms and businesses while the men fought, and actively refused to buy heavily taxed British goods. Finally, after years of grueling combat, and with crucial naval and military support from France, Washington cornered the British at Yorktown, Virginia, in 1781, forcing their surrender. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, officially ending the war. And recognizing the United States as a sovereign nation. America had won its liberty. In 1787, leaders drafted the U.S. Constitution, creating a powerful new federal government. But here is where the story gets incredibly dark. The men who wrote that all men are created equal were, in many cases, slaveholders themselves. The American Revolution was an absolute paradox. Political liberty coexisted perfectly with the brutal institution of slavery. When drafting the Constitution, the founders literally enshrined racial prejudice into law. They created the 3/5 Clause. And for the Native Americans, the American Revolution was an unmitigated catastrophe. Knowing that an independent America would greedily expand, allied with the British. In retaliation, American revolutionary armies completely destroyed Native American towns and crops across New York and Pennsylvania. When the war ended, Native American representatives were completely excluded from all peace negotiations, resulting in a massive loss of their ancestral lands and autonomy. And those women, who had boycotted British goods and kept the colonial economy alive during the war, they were entirely excluded from political rights in the new republic. The rights and freedoms of this shiny new democracy were strictly limited to white men of property. The American Revolution changed the world forever. It proved that a tyrannical empire could be defeated, and that a government could be ruled by the consent of the people. But it was also an incomplete revolution.
History is never just black and white. It's written by the victors, but it's built on the backs of the forgotten. If you found this untold history fascinating, hit that like button,
subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a documentary. Until next time, keep questioning history.